So much of what you talked about has to do with intention and intention setting and creating an environment. Like, how do you cultivate the community feeling practically? How do you do that with the band? How do you do that with the audience? I think just curious if there's more to say around the intentional ways you cultivate community.
Yeah, that's a great question, and something I think could still be worth giving more time just for myself to think about, because it was funny how it all came together. And when I think back initially when I started the band, it was very much a situation where I was just interested in seeing if I could write music that I love. Who knows where that feeling for me comes from? Is just that natural artistic feeling that I think all of us have on some level, and it not always about music. It could be about how you're shaping your flower garden, or how you're putting up Christmas decorations. Any little thing like that. You get that little jump of excitement when get to be creative and it turns out the way that you want to. And then you do something else, or maybe it's how you're like trimming your bushes, or how you're detailing your car. Any little thing like that doesn't have to be a great work of art or anything like that. It can be on a small scale and you can get immense satisfaction from that. But for me, it came down to, okay, I really want to try to make music that I love, that really speaks to my soul. And so when I started writing stuff, we would have our first few rehearsals. Some of the songs was like, okay, I need to fix this, I need to edit this. But then I would hear little moments of that sunshine that would shine through. I'd be like, yes, this is exactly what I want. It just really speaks to me. And the way I was thinking when we first started, I remember hearing the band play, and it was such a bizarre feeling. It was almost like my soul was being played back to me in the music. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. I didn't think we would get to that point, mainly because I wasn't confident 7 years ago or so when we started that my writing ability was sharp enough to do that. And it was a craft that I'm still developing now and always trying to improve. But at that time, I was so rough, didn't know what I was doing. But even though those first few rehearsals and then first few performances, I was like, oh, I hear little elements where, yes, this is exactly how I'm envisioning the music. And it really speaks to me. And the way I think about it, a lot of times with jazz, I feel like a lot of our role, specifically as a jazz musician, is to double down on your individuality. We can just make a short list of who we consider to be the masters: Charlie Parker, John Coltrane, Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, Thelonious Monk, any of those people that we think about, true individuals, and they went all the way in on what their singular soul and vision of music, to them, they thought it was supposed to be. And that's the thing that I'm always stressing with my students. And one thing that I try to do with myself is like, what does my music look and sound like? And how can I really double down on that?